Thank you guys for hopping on. Anybody that's catching this recording, we're gonna go over stuff for the challenge groups and kind of walk through things together. And then if you're catching the recording and you have an idea and we don't think of it here, post it below in the video when I post it this week. Thank you guys for hopping on. So it's a busy week for a lot of people. Elizabeth's moving and Samantha's up north somewhere. So I know it's harder for people during this time of day. But I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple things that probably should not take too long. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the prep week and kind of the new challenge schedule. It's a little different. I met with Carly and I think it's going to work better. And my kids are going to make a lot of noise. Sorry. And then we need to come up with Zoom call topics because I need to check to see if anybody, I didn't check before I hopped on to see if people had posted stuff on the Zoom calls topics. So what I'll do is we can write some down and then I'll pin that. I made a spreadsheet, so I'll pin the spreadsheet and we can just put the topics and then I can add them to the spreadsheet. I'm going to have them stop wrestling. Hold on. Or I'll just close the basement door. Okay, so the first thing is for this month, our head, like people who are leading in the groups, we have Rebecca and Elizabeth are going to head up the 2B group. Megan Kaufman and I are going to head up the Fit Club group. And Trisha and Megan Mooney are going to head up the Lift 4 group. What that basically means is we're just going to be kind of organizing everything. So I'm going to make a little checklist that'll have like, what does it mean to be leading? Because that way down the line, like in September, we're going to have to split the Fit Club in two. We might split the 2B in two. So like Lindsay, when you're feeling ready after baby, or I told Sarah when she's feeling ready, if you want to step into that, we'll have more groups and we'll need that. For sure. But the leader's job is the two of them, I think it's good to have two, set up the accountability posts. So they'll take turns doing that. Schedule the Zooms. So like you would only need, Lindsay, like, you know, you've been doing it for all of the groups. So like the workout Zoom and the challenger Zoom, they schedule it or they can assign somebody to, but they're in charge of making sure it goes up. The leaders will rotate like running the Zoom calls, but so like the 2B group will lead 1 week, the Fit Club will lead 1 week, the Lift group, but they are not the only ones who speak. They're just in charge of like getting coaches or getting a challenger to share. By working, so that you're also as a leader, you need to be working in the message thread. So like I'm in the 2B message thread and the Lift 4 message thread, but I'm not going to lead it anymore. So like, that's up to y'all. Y'all tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that way, at least when if we're in that leading role in one group, we don't have to feel like we're in multiple places. And then the leaders also need to like create the new sign up for the team every month. And I have a blank form. You just make a copy of it in the Google Drive. And also feature a story. I like how we featured that person in the 2B group, and I'd love for us to organize somebody featuring one of their people. So you're kind of just directing the ship. The people who are in the group, so like today we'll talk about for us here, what groups are we in that we want to be like a person who posts on a day. You know, we need to be owning our day, but then encouraging every day, being a challenger, but also, you know, helping lead the Zoom call and helping do the story. Like if I have a challenger who's rocking it saying, oh my gosh, this girl just had a big victory. Can I feature her? And you talk about that in the thread. So, Lindsay, what groups are you in right now?
I'm only in the Fit.
Okay. Are you good with that? Do you mind?
That's fine. Because you figure, I know probably when I get cleared, I'll probably do Lift 4. But I'm good with just doing the Fit Club right now.
Okay, cool. So would you mind being part of the hosting crew? for?
Oh yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Okay, cool. So, and I'll make sure to get, and then Megan, you and I are going to help in Fit Club, but you want to also be part of the posting crew in like 2B?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that because I'm in there too.
Yeah. And because I feel like if you have people in a group, it's good to be in the group with them.
Yeah, I like to make myself
to kind of lead
visible.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Rebecca, you have people in Fit Club. I know you're helping in Lift 4. Lift 4 is kind of already set up. So I don't really want to change how it's been set up, but I'm just going to let Trisha and Megan kind of run the message thread because people already signed up for the days for that.
Yeah, I've got somebody in the Fit Club. I've got people in Lift 4 and I got people in 2B. Ouch.
Do you want to post in all 3?
I don't mind.
Okay.
I kind of like to be there if my people are there, just so they know
No,
I've
for
been
sure.
to dump them.
Okay, so I have that.
Okay.
And then I'll, like I said, whoever's watching this recording, post in the comments. And I did a little poll of like what groups you have people in that you want to, if you'd like to be in charge. The other thing though is if you have challengers and you feel like you are in a season where you can't lead a day, as long as you're showing up every day and posting your selfies and like, we don't notice, you know what I mean? Like they just want to see you. So, like that adds just as much value. The other thing is, okay, Carly is going to post the September calendar and we're working on October. The way we have it now, the way we've been doing it is we've been having a prep week and then like 4 weeks of a challenge group or 5-ish some months. But I feel like prep week drags because people who have already been in the group are like, what do I do this week? People who are new to the group, we're kind of dragging things out. So I posted the prep week post because I feel like half of what we do needs to be done before they're even put in the group. So like I already have a challenger welcome checklist for 2B Mindset. And I have a challenger welcome checklist for people going into prep week. And I'm going to share, they're in the team page, but they're in a unit of things to send challengers. But I'm going to edit it. I think they need to have their program, learn how to do BOD, have their Shakeology picked out, and their PD book, well, before they're even added. And that way, when they're added, the first day is welcome, get to know each other. So people who are recommitting can share like where they are in their program, what their biggest win was from the month before, what they're looking forward to this month. Sorry, he's slurping on my shake. And then then the new people can say what they're going to be doing. Now he's gonna burp. Does that make sense? Because I just think that it's just, we don't need to have that and that because of that, day 1 of prep is day 1 of the 30 days. So I put on the challenger Zoom call rotation, we were going to do like fitness, nutrition, mindset. Well, every 5th one is a welcome and like counting your wins call, because that should be the call where we share our victories from the month before and welcome the new people. So because of that, I don't think we should call it prep week anymore. So I was just talking to Rebecca Dixon about what should we call it? Like refocus week and welcome week, or like, I mean, I'm completely not creative today. So y'all have an idea what we could call that week? I mean, it is good to have recommit for the old people that have been in it, but it's not recommit for new people.
Well, what if instead of calling it refocus, we just call it a focus week?
Focus.
That way it doesn't feel like new people are feeling like, well, I'm not refocusing like this. I'm doing this for the first time. And people who have been doing it, they still need focus. You know what I'm saying? Like they get to choose their focus for the month.
Yeah.
What if we just call it something like that? And maybe we even called that first call our focus call or something like that. So we know
I like having on the focus call though. I want to have it where we're like, sharing a testimony from the month before. I liked how we did that this time.
I do too.
So I like focus week. Y'all in favor? Okay. So then the other thing we need to talk about today, the other thing I was going to tell you before we talk about the topics for focus week, I'm going to have to retrain my brain there. Okay, the way it's going to work now is day 1 is the first day of focus week. So it'll run for 5 weeks. So we'll be posting our workouts. So we'll need accountability posts starting with day 1. And because of that, clean week in August has been moved up. So Carly's going to make a correction and post it, the clean week that we're having at the end of the month, because we're now going to have clean week start on a Wednesday instead of Monday, because I think we could literally prep them in 3 days. And then, so that means you got to get them signed up beforehand. I don't mind having the group open and welcoming them, but we're not going to start actually prepping until Wednesday so they can get their stuff signed up. But you'll have clean week run, and then there will be a week where there's like a lapse between clean week and the next focus week so that you can help them get signed up before adding them to the challenge group. Because before we used to have them add them during prep because they could still sign up during that time, but we're not going to do that anymore since we're having focus week start. So that week will give you time to like help them pick the best option for them. Use like the 2B third party group if you need to or whatever. So that's going to start in the new calendars, which will help because basically every 5 weeks we will start a new focus. And it should run honestly till the end of the year like that. Like I don't think there's any hiccups with it. We might have to navigate the holidays. Christmas is always kind of wonky and we start at the beginning of the year kind of different, but that's way ahead of us. So so that'll be coming down the pipeline. So I think what's key is having our focus week posts saved as a prep, as a unit in every group, because that way, and having that checklist saved in that unit, that way if you add people later, you can say, here was what we did on week 1. Why don't you check these out? Because I think that the topics for focus week need to be intentional. So like definitely the welcome. I was thinking, and I wanted y'all's input. Like I think having a why day obviously matters. So based on what we've been doing, do you feel like, I think Sundays I would like to keep with self-evaluating. I think that's important to have their 3 wins and then they're moving forward, because if we're not self-evaluating, we're not, but I wanted to ask what do you guys want during focus week? Like, what do you like that we've done? What do you think we need topic wise?
I think something about goals, because whether you're thinking of goals for the first time or you're starting fresh or recommitting, whatever.
Yeah.
It's always helpful for me, and I think my challengers too, to kind of revisit that. And it helps with their progress too, to realize, right now I need to make a new goal.
I like that.
I think even the order that we've mentioned them in should be maybe the order that we go for it. Like you want a welcome video. This is how the group's going to be run. This I get the most out of it, and then do a why, and then the following day do goals, so that their why is established first, and then it'll make more sense when they create their goals and what they want their goals to be.
And we have that tracker that Megan made, the transformation tracker, where they put their before measurements on it. And she actually made an updated one I need to upload that has a place to put your after. But there's a place there to write your why and your goals. So we could include the link to that in their welcome checklist, but refer to it in the why bit day and then the goals, because it'll kind of work its way down. And they have already done their before measurements before day 1.
Yeah. Well, I think this could be,
or on day 1.
This could be something that you send to your challengers just individually as a coach. Like you send them the links. You also have them accessed, in the group. But this is something this is in their packet when you start to work with them, and it has their checklist, their goals, things, so they have it all. Then if they lose it, they can go back and reprint it. But then they know to take their measurements. They have a place already.
And you could have it on the checklist, like the link to it. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
tips?
I don't know, like topic wise. I mean, I don't know how in depth you want to go into. I have all this together. I have clean out pantry, meal planning, grocery shopping, meal prep, like all the food stuff when you get started.
Tips about that could be on their checklist of like ways to prep, but then we could have a day. I had written down in a day, I think it would be good to say that's meal planning tips.
Yeah.
One coach could lead it, and then we could just comment in the post what we do.
That's what I was going to say. Something with like the meal, like planning, keeping it simple so this way it's not overwhelming, but also try to include it in a checklist because it probably is something like, have you thought about your meal planning and have you thought about prepping? What's your first week going to look like type of a checklist. So this way they have an idea that they need to be thinking not even long term, but just in the next couple of days, what's your food going to look like? So you can kind of help them narrow that down.
And there's a, on the checklist that I have a video that I grabbed that Summer had made on how she meal preps, but we could actually use some of our own. Obviously, I just did that one because I don't have one. But I think it would be good to give it to them in advance and then talk about it during that first week, focus week. Like what trips you up the most and how have you overcome it? Like, and people could share their tips. Because I agree. I honestly think every week somebody needs to be on the group talking about how they prepped. I feel like that was always a good, it doesn't have to be the same day, but I think it's good. People really like having help with that. That's a good
It's the biggest obstacle. I mean, it's still the biggest obstacle for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could do meal planning tips could be one, and we could kind of reference the checklist. Is that what you were thinking, Lindsay? Like give it to them beforehand?
Yeah. So like if you gave them like just something to add into that checklist. So this way it's not a long drawn out like daily, what you're doing, and it's not too much, because I do like the why and then the goals, because that's like good to like lead right into like your week, like what your week's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
But then being able to say, well, here, did you go and check the checklist, and did you think about what your meal planning is gonna look like and what your food this week, have you made, and even if you ask them, because everybody kind of, I know like enjoys recipes, like, hey, have you thought about like 3 recipes you're going to make this week? So this way they're not thinking, oh, we're going to go out either and it's going to be clean. They're more thinking, oh yeah, I got to get my brain to rethink that whole, okay, yeah, I'm going to have like chicken this week, or I'm going to have, like some kind of meal. And then everybody can post about what foods they're even making that first week to kind of give a lot of ideas.
I wonder if we do that, if we should have that though, then like on Tuesday. That way they can think about the rest of the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
And then have why on Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
which is so not cliche. Why Wednesday? And then goals could be Thursday.
Yeah.
So let's do the meal prep on Tuesday. Would you mind putting together a little like 5 tips for meal prep document that I could link in the checklist?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
Because you're like super good at it. That's like your wheelhouse. I like learn from you.
I feel like I've like fallen off over like the last, like, because I haven't gone grocery shopping. Like I tell my husband, I'm like, we have no food. Like he came home after I did all of that. Like you saw that post. I went grocery shopping, had all that food. He goes, we have nothing. I said, we have food. And he goes, well, where are the snacks? I'm thinking, I didn't buy snacks.
We have that same
Fruits and vegetables.
And I stopped buying snacks I can have because I was snacking too much and not eating good.
Oh, same.
And now Courtney's like, where are the snacks? Because he likes the ones I buy. And I'm like, well, I'm not getting that kind. So you either have to cook yourself something or you're going to eat the kids' snacks.
I
love
take
like,
one snack.
There's no food. There's food. You just have to make it.
Yeah.
Let's do that on Tuesday. And then
Hey, I really like, Lindsay, I really like that we keep referring back to the checklist. I think we should do that consciously in every post, because then it'll get them used to like, oh yeah, that's my guide. Oh, the checklist is my guide.
Yeah.
And it's so then the posts are not these big, long, drawn out Like
and the
we
checklist, and we can have
before.
2 units. We could have a unit that's checklist and forms, and a unit that's focus week videos. And
Yeah.
that the checklist, and then we could have like the transformation tracker, the meal planning form, the tips of meal planning form. Like, and we have it all there, and that way it's easy for them to grab.
Yeah.
If you add someone later, you can say, watch these videos and here are the forms. And we can give them a copy too. So I was going to print off, I've been printing off the 2D mindset checklist and mailing it to them in their thank you note.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to print it off and say, these documents are also in the group. So you don't have, since the link is there, but it's a printed copy. That way they'll know. Okay, so meal planning, why, goals. I was thinking,
What about community?
yeah, community and personal development were 2 that I was thinking. So I think Sunday should be like about self-evaluating.
Maybe have PD go along with self-evaluating. So is that part of that personal development? That's why we self-evaluate.
I mean, we could. That's totally. I'm trying to think. So we definitely want to do community. Let's just talk about. So community should be a day, which a lot of this is already on that sheet. So it's a matter of just editing the prep.
So wait, we still have 5 topics though. So you still want to do 5 days? Because I thought you wanted to just break it down. Wait, I'm sorry. I keep getting clean week, prep, and
no. So this is like the first week of the challenge. It'll be the only week the topics are planned, and then the rest of the challenge, you just have your day, and we have a theme for the week that we'll decide, but you post on your day.
So it's 7 days for.
Yes, we need 7 days.
Okay, cool.
So welcome, meal planning, why, goals, community. I kind of was thinking, if you wanted to do PD with the self-evaluation, I was thinking, I loved how y'all talked about seasons, and maybe that could be the PD, like knowing your season and making sure if that was the post on Saturday, it would, it kind of would be like you set your goals, but when you set your weekly goals, make sure that they align with your season. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, so talk about goals and seasons at the same time?
or maybe maybe that would be better. Maybe incorporate that in the goal day.
I think that would work, because then the people who are already there, as their season changes, their goals are going to change. So yeah.
So if that's the case, then the other thought was Saturday could be like triggers and obstacles, like navigating your weekends. People could share tips. I feel like that one and the meal prep tip could be one where people share their tips in the comments. But I mean,
this is so my brain. I'm such an order freak. So what if we did community on Saturday, but we did the weekend thing on Friday, because you're going into the weekend and it gives them a chance to kind of think about how they want to be okay Saturday and Sunday. And then Saturday we talk about community, because we're going to have our community call on Sunday night. And then and that will be mentioned in the welcome video in the beginning anyway, so they know what's coming up, but then we really want to focus on and then invite them, hey, we really want to see you tomorrow night, blah, blah. And then Sunday, what do we have left? Personal development, self-reflection, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah, self-evaluating.
Okay.
So then we have welcome on Monday, meal planning on Tuesday, why Wednesday, Thursday, goals in your season, Friday, trip tips and tricks for the weekend, Saturday, community, and Sunday, self-evaluation.
And I was going to say that's good too, because the tips and that for the weekend for Friday, we can also because that's what I normally will post that Zoom on Friday, so that whoever that can be a good lead in too, to be able to say, hey, and for Saturday, for our community on Saturday, you know what I mean? Because then somebody's gonna be talking about the community, but they'll be able to hop in and see our workout, get a quick glimpse of our community in the morning. Then whoever does that post Saturday can talk about the community and even reference back to hey, did you get to hop on to the Zoom workout? And then Sunday they'll be able to be on the actual call with everybody for whatever that topic is.
Yeah, I like that a lot too, because one of the big things that helps me through the weekend is when I work out Saturday morning, I feel like I did something active
Same.
that kind of counter. I go a little off plan. So that sounds awesome. We have a lot of this. I'm not going to completely redo Focus Week. I'm just going to edit it. And then what I'll do is I'll work on that tomorrow, and I'll put it in the group, and then you can post feedback. But here's the beauty. This is a rough edit, because when we do it, you can edit the post to fit you. I don't want you to put what I put. Like I want to have a little bit for new coaches who are like, I don't know how to write a post, so they know something. And I like I'll put the stuff y'all said, like for the video in red, so people know what to say a little bit. Like what I've loved about this Clean Week is how you guys have like taken ownership of it, and it's been authentic. It's not, you know what I mean? So the only thing we have left to do then is to figure out topics. And I mean, we could do it here, or like I said, I made a document. If you guys could help me kind of spearhead and tag people under it to get some ideas. So if you have a coach and you want them to give an idea of a topic, maybe tag them under that post. Would that work better? Because I mean, we can come up with them here, but I also feel like I want people to have feedback. Like, what are your thoughts?
These are topics for the Zoom call.
Mm-hmm.
What were you talking about with the alternating? Those were topics for the week, like the challenge.
Well, the Zoom call topic for Sunday can kind of be the focus for the week. I mean, that way every week we'll have like, if one of it's like meal planning tips, then that week all of us can share something that week about that. Or if it's on triggers, then that week we can all share. Like, I think it helps to have a theme.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I like that.
Because it makes it where it helps us too with our creativity. I feel like when I know, like, oh, we're talked about this on the Zoom, so I'm going to share, like we could have a recipe week, like where the whole week is focused on. And that way the way I have it set up is 15 weeks of posts or 15 weeks of Zoom calls. And like 3 of them are already like the welcome and, the finishing of the week before. That's 15 weeks of fresh content. And then when we start it over, it's like, it's been long enough that we will all be in a new season ourselves. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think this is going to help. I can't even tell you how happy I am to have you guys taking over some of this stuff, because I realized that like I haven't been able to serve my challengers as well, because I've been worried so much about things, and if y'all are nervous, don't be nervous. Like, it's going to be really good. But I want to encourage like the leaders to like take over, so my thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the focus week taken care of by tomorrow. Lindsay, if you could work on the 5 tips.
I can do that either today or tomorrow morning.
Okay. Rebecca, would you be willing to work on like the checklist, like edit the one we have? I have one. And then Megan, can you head up helping people put on their topics down, and then we can like, if they could put the topics for the Zoom calls under the Google Drive, then you can like put them in the right slot. Does that make sense? Because you're muted. Okay. Oh wait, I am.
Can you hear me now? Did you already post the Google Drive?
I posted the document, so it's in there. I don't know if anyone put anything under it. I needed to get filled out.
Okay, so you want me to just like tell people and tag them in?
Yeah, if you could tag people and just ask, and then I'd ask them to put it in the comments, because that way we could add it to the doc like in a rotated way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the video you made? Put it in the comments of that video.
No, that's for you. So, okay, I'm going to tag you, Megan, in the Challenger Zoom topic rotation is what it's called.
And I was going to say, you know what you could do, because I liked your idea about the recipes and like the sharing, like different, like, and you can try to be creative in how you're doing it, whether it's like a nutrition and food topic for the week, and then be able to share like, well, what are your triggers? So one day would be like, what are your triggers, or what recipe ideas do you have, or
Yeah.
what are your goals for the week? And then the following could be like exercise related, or like
And
body. So it would almost be like those extra 3 weeks that we have on our call would be like mind, body,
Yes, that's what I have.
as like our main topics
Yes.
to go through. And then this way it kind of narrows down the week to be able to say, okay, well, this week we're talking about strictly our like food.
Yes.
This week we're talking strictly about like how we're doing our PD. I was going to say, oh my gosh, like how we're doing our PD
Yeah.
for the week. And then the following would be like, okay, well, what's the workout, or like what trips you up? What are your goals for this? Do you need to recommit? Like anything like that. So this way it kind of, I don't know if that even makes sense.
So you want to ask them first, do you think? Or I'm confused. Because I have it set up like this where we would have the themes are here and they rotate.
Oh, yeah.
And then we would just have pre-decided topics that would be for that Zoom call, but then we would use it as a focus for the week.
I think with this also, Kelly, you can take these topics and you can then create some fun incentives or challenges or something throughout the week to keep our challenge groups fresh. So like if you're talking about the week that Lindsay, you're talking about, the nutrition and triggers or recipes or something, then maybe you throw out okay, we're going to do a challenge or a whatever today. Share a recipe, one of your favorite healthy treat recipes, and everybody gets thrown into a drawing or just something, or just to get engagement up to, but it's focused on the topic of the week and also helpful.
Well, and I think that would be what kind of like the two people who lead that group would kind of decide from week to week. Like, what's a fun, and I think that's a great, I found some bingo that I put in the team page. Someone had made bingo that you can play in the challenge groups.
That's fun.
But is this what you were saying, Lindsay? Like,
Yes, I'm sorry. I just didn't look.
No.
I didn't look at that.
I put so much stuff up in the last week in our group.
But, and I was going to say, and I like Rebecca's idea with that, because then I know, like, even like with like my clean weeks or stuff that you do, like I've always tried to like make it so it's like one day, like a Friday fitness, like say thing. So, hey, grab a partner and take a picture of like you and a coworker, or you and so they might not be in the group, but it's like, hey, take a picture of like you doing like 10 jumping jacks, or like, hey, can you do like squats and do them, find a creative way. But something just to be able to keep it fun and even be able to do like the water challenge. You know what I mean? So this way.
Or even asking a question like, what's the craziest place you've ever vacationed? Or like, what's the, you know what I mean? And I like you were talking about, Megan, like on the goal day, you could talk about picking out an item of clothing, like having that. So every week somebody could say, hey, my pants are like, on self-evaluation day, part of it could be, did you try on your goal outfit? And that way it's more personalized. Mm-hmm. So Megan, I tagged you under that. If you could help me get that filled out, and then the recommit what you asked me about, Rebecca, that was under the video, that is what I want to turn into the checklist we give them.
Okay, I just download that on my computer, so that's what you want me to.
Tips, Lindsay, and then she could add it to that, and then we could all of this will be into the group, and then I will work on editing focus week.
It needs to be a Google Drive, right? Okay, got it.
Yeah, and then I think this is gonna be awesome. Like I just feel like it's fresh enough, but it's not completely throwing everything out. And I think having, so in September, like I said, we're gonna split this. When Lift 4 wraps up, those people will go into Fit Club. So Fit Club will split at least into 2, if not 3. We'll have 100 people, and so we might even be able to split into 3, and then we'll look at 2B Mindset and see how many people in there can be moved to Fit 2 if they've done 2B Mindset for 3 months and they're ready, or if they want to stay in 2B and the 2B Mindset group has 50, then we might consider splitting that. But we have enough people on our team to adequately run 5 groups with leaders. That was what was like blowing my mind. I'm like, yeah, this is why this is stressful, because it's a lot for one person, and
it's like blown up.
Yeah, it's so good. And I feel like 25 to 30 is like, to me, like the best number for a group. 40 is not bad. I feel like under 20 is not bad, but 25 to 30 is like not perfect, like ideal. So every time we get to a size, because I feel like as you have coaches, asking your coaches, can you help, if you're new and you're watching this video, what can you do? Well, first showing up on your day, but also giving ideas for posts and starting to build your confidence with that, you know what I mean? And having them help lead, spotlighting new coaches as the person you do the interview with, as well as challengers, you know. Sorry. But I think this is going to be good. And what I'd like to do is like, not once, well, I'm not sure how often, but I think at least once a quarter have a challenge group team call where we evaluate and see if we need anything, or if you, but in the meantime, if you come up with ideas, I think it's always fun to have like, what's a, you know, if you see like something like, I think the bingo cards would be fun to do, like mid challenge when people kind of fall off, because it's like they get something, they get a prize. So
Hey, Kelly.
yes.
So you said that you and Carly kind of tweaked August and September, and you're going to post those in the group when you have a chance, just so that we can kind of look and see the 5 weeks and how that played out.
Boys.
She is working on the newsletter. She is working on the calendar, and it should be posted by next week.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So for August then, just so I've got my ducks.
August group starts Monday.
The what?
Monday. Monday is day one of focus week.
Of every group.
They're
Okay.
all the same.
Gotcha.
The only reason why this one ran 4 weeks and not 5 is because when I was counting stuff, I just goofed. And I didn't want to drag it out. I think with Lift 4 starting and this, and they just threw me off. So that's why when she and I met this time, I did September, October, and then I looked at November just to make sure it would keep flowing. And then I stopped because, like I said, December is always, you know. But yeah, so she'll have September up next week, but focus week starts Monday. So this week's phone call needs to be like the winning kickoff kind of transformation. And then we need to, the two options, and I think honestly the best option is not for Lift 4 because that one's fine, but I think we need to start a new, you and Elizabeth should start a 2B message thread that's new, and we should start a Summer Strong message thread that's new for Fit Club, and then we'll keep the Lift 4 one there because there's some coaches from Team Fearless that are helping with that group. And that way, people who want to be in that thread, we can just add them because there's a lot of cross. And so that's why in the group, I'm going to put a post that says like, maybe you can, maybe like you and Elizabeth can post, we're kicking off 2Bs, refocus, who wants to help lead a coach post, be part of the leadership team. I think I had a poll. Let me just check because I did a lot last week and I can't remember. My point is you can pull the people from the poll and put them in your new message thread, and then you guys are in charge of it. And then it's like a clean slate.
Did you say she's moving right now?
She moves today.
Okay, I sent her a message, but I figured she's.
Yeah, she moves today. So I think there's a poll though that I already did.
I remember the poll in the group.
So that's who we'll pull the leaders from. And like, if you have a coach that you want to ask to lead, just ask them. Know this, if your coaches are never, like as your team grows, if your coaches don't click on stuff, just a lot of times, because they don't know if they're like capable. So just say like, hey, do you want to help run a coach post? And they'll be, a lot of times they're like, oh, can I do that? You know, and then, so anybody want a 3-year-old?
So wait, this might be a really stupid question, but I'm probably like Rebecca in the sense of like my mind has to like know.
I love your mind.
So,
Me too.
my organization, so like, when it follows through for the 5 weeks, will the new, like, say, focus week start like the beginning of the month still?
It'll change up because some months are 4 weeks and some months are 5.
Okay.
But I'd rather be consistent at least with the group, because and I think that's what threw me off is I was trying to start us at the beginning of every month, but it's like if you try to do that, some groups have to be 3 weeks and some groups have to be 4.
Okay.
So it's just every 5. So I think having the focus prep post saved and having this checklist, then I don't have anyone ready for Monday. I just added people last week, but I can add them and tag them in the focus group. The focus prep unit, and they'll have it. or you can use Clean Week. Like I have a couple people I popped into Clean Week to hold them over until our next group started. So yeah, it's not going to be able, I wish I could get it to start like, you know, the first Monday of every month, but I feel like when I do that, it doesn't, you can't do, you would end up having 2 groups go at a time.
So that's a good question. By the way, Lindsay, I had the exact question with her earlier. I'm like, so,
Yeah.
okay, so Kelly, if I have somebody, so it's not Monday yet, we're starting focuses on Monday, and they,
Hang on.
okay,
Get him downstairs. Just carry him down. Sorry.
it's all good.
I can do this. Anyone can do this.
If I have somebody who's ready or like they're good to go to be put in a group, but do we want to kind of hold off and say, I'm going to put you in the group on Sunday night because we're kicking things off Monday? Or
I stuck 2 people in last week and told them we're starting on Monday, but I'll go ahead and add you now. And I sent them the checklist and I said,
Okay.
we officially kick off our new round on Monday. They go ahead and start plugging in.
okay, cool.
Because that way, if they're excited, they don't lose their excitement.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I had
Yeah.
that same question.
Because I think I had people hold off before and it didn't happen and they're struggling to do the program. And I think it's because I should have learned, and I learned, you know. So I'm gonna like they're still, they haven't even started yet. Like they've been in the group for a month and they're like frozen. And so I'm hoping that this new flow will help them also.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
The checklist that I'm doing, is it just for challenge groups? Because the Clean Week has got its own thing, right?
Done. You don't need to, yeah.
Yeah, it's got its own checklist because it's different.
Yes.
Cool.
And what you can do for prep week is the stuff that we're making, like the tips that Lindsay's making and the why and like I know all of this stuff is in the tracker book for 2B, but like the transformation tracker and stuff, if you want to, you can make a unit in the 2B group because it is in here, but it's only at the beginning. It's not like I wish that there was almost every 30 days they had like a place to retake your photos and measurements, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
You could make that. And the other thing for the 2B group, which I think is really cool, Alana's doing her live Q&As twice a week now on Facebook Live. So
That's what that is.
And then Summer's offering a Wednesday 12 o'clock coach. It's a challenger Zoom call. It's for our challengers, and they're all welcome, including Clean Week, to hop on with her, and she'll just answer questions and talk. And so I feel like if they can't make Sunday night, it's a great way to offer. And I would even say that if you can't make Sunday night, this is a great way to plug into some awesome coaching from one of our mentors. And, you know, we'd like you to I want to tell them like prioritize Sunday because that's our immediate group. But if people start showing up to that one and the Wednesday one, that's kind of a flag that they might be a coach material if they're like that hungry. You know what I'm saying? For extra tea.
No,
I did one this past week that was really good. It was about like not comparing your journey to other people's journey, and she answered questions about if you feel stuck. And so giving them those added. And then I'm thinking when school starts, I'm going to be getting up and working out in the morning. I might post my Zoom in the morning when I work out. But I like doing at least Saturday. And
now, do we have like a time that works?
I think 9 is the best
9?
time.
Okay.
The people who said 7, no one came at 7 but me and
It ended up being so hard.
So I feel like even though 9 is later, it's easier because there's more people to help with kids if their husbands are home, if they don't mind. Now I say that, I don't know what soccer is going to do to us.
I kind of like the idea of just being like, hey, I'm working out, pop on.
But yeah, I think we could put that link in there for people to still do that, like and offer other times. But I think it's good to have one set time that we all try to be there, you know. And I like Saturdays because literally I haven't missed a Saturday workout but like twice since January because of that.
Now, like, now this is just like a thought, like thinking out loud for like the workouts. Like keep it Saturday, but then I wonder if we could like have a poll like just for our coaches to say, hey, when do you normally work out? Because I know I used to do like a Wednesday morning because I was home on Wednesdays. So I was able to kind of like, hey, I can do this. And I just did it that way. So it like, it was like 6
So in
o'clock
addition
in
to
the morning.
Saturday, we each have a day that we post we're working out and offer a Zoom.
But like, yeah, I wonder if people know like, hey, they always work out like on Thursday at like 5 o'clock when they get home from work or something, like a specific coach.
Every day. I think that's a good idea because I have the objection a lot of times, like, I need somebody to work out with me. I can't do at-home workouts.
Well,
so
and go ahead.
If we have like, well, there's a coach that works out live every day, different times, you can get that experience.
I think it'd be cool too, because if we had 5 people who committed to it and we could do a graphic with our 5 pictures and the time.
Yeah.
So it would be like, Kelly works out every Monday at 2. Hop on with her, and then it has a Zoom link under, and then that way they know because here's the thing, I could tell you this, I don't have a set time right now I'm working out every day. I have a time of day I like to do it, but if you were to tell me that like you're hopping on every day at 9, I'm probably going to do it at 9 because I'll change my schedule.
Yeah.
And because I want that community. So I feel like we can't really, I like that a lot, Lindsay, that we cater it.
Well, and I saw it with Rebecca Bain's group. I want to say is where I saw like almost like one person took each day, or if they knew they were doing it, and it might have changed weekly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you know that like next week you're going to be away and you can't do it, then okay, so then you just kind of write in the week before like, hey, we're not going to do it. But if somebody else wants to do it that day, that's fine. But I know there would be days that like Wednesdays I used to be able to work out like early in the morning. So I tried to at least write that in like, hey, I'm going to be on. And even if it was I plugged in and I was the only one on there, at least it gave people the option to say, oh, okay, well, they're willing to kind of do different times.
Well, and I would plan my workouts around when y'all worked out. I mean, I'm planning, Courtney and I are going to get up and do it in the morning before school during the school year, but that's why Saturday works for me. And if I miss one morning with him and I know someone else is, it's a big motivator for me. I mean, he laughs. He's like, you work out and take 20 pauses to like hands free yourself on Instagram. I'm like, I am so getting but I like that. Well, let's work on that for sure, because we don't have to, we can get that ready for the end of could you poll that, Lindsay? Do you mind doing the poll?
I can do that. Because it's like, even if it's just one person says, hey, like, even if we just ask it as like, hey, do you have a certain time you definitely work out, even, whatever day? And then this way it kind of gives the challengers different options too, to say, hey, I know I can get it in, Friday at whatever time and meet somebody new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
How do we use our own Zoom link, Kelly?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
No, there's a Zoom link in the header of our team page, and you can use that for.
So if I click on that though, I can't, like, you're the host though, so I have to wait till you get on for it to pop on.
I need to make it a 24-hour live link.
You what?
I need to make it a live link.
Okay.
I'll write that down. I'll do it now.
Oh, so if it's a live link, then you don't have to be there?
I don't have to be there. You can't record on it per se.
But you can chat on it.
Like the link that they use in Team Courage for Power Hours.
Oh, makes sense. Okay.
It's a live link, because Summer's link, I need to make sure I can make it live. I know I can do one, but if I can't do more than one, I might just use that one for both. I'm going to see, I'll tell her, because if that's how it works. You put it where it's open for it runs for 24 hours. Because every other Zoom call is like an hour. You schedule it. This one you schedule.
And Rebecca, when I did it by myself, it was only a 30-minute, do you know what I mean? But the people who, if anybody did come on, I kind of just let them know, hey, listen, the link's going to expire, it's going to expire after like 40 minutes, but this way, at least we know we got our workout, and like try to like
you use your own link that time.
That time I used my own link, but it's only like a 40-minute.
Right.
Like you only get like a 40 or 45-minute, but at least it was something.
I don't know
if somebody came in, they could do it.
I don't know if I could use your link if you weren't on it. I think you have to be paid.
Yeah, the pay
Yeah,
ones are
just have the
probably
free Zoom thing.
which I pay for it. So let me see if I can do, we'll try it. I mean, I think the worst thing that would happen is if someone decided to do a power hour at the same time we were doing a workout, it might pick somebody off.
No, you have to work out now.
So, but it's my, I mean, I'll ask Summer.
Well, they would just be on the same call, wouldn't they? They'd be power houring while someone's working out.
But that's how that works. So I need to get that. I'll see about the one that we're already using. I'll just see if I can update it to be 24 hours.
And that's the one we use for these workouts we're talking about and for
Sunday.
our Sunday night Zoom calls.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Hey, Megan, you look pretty.
I know she does. Look at it.
Just all the good stuff. Well, we will get, okay, so I think I can update you on the main parts of it, but if you watch the first part of it, you'll kind of get a gist of it. But you and Trisha are going to run lift 4 and it's kind of already set up. So your just main thing now is to make sure it runs because everybody's signed up for stuff. And then you two be in charge of the accountability posts. But we're going to revamp the focus week posts and everything. And then we'll get it all posted in the team page. So if you just read through it, then you can let me know any questions you have. Oh,
You're talking for Summer Strong M2B.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at them a little bit and I watched your video. But I can message you or whatever.
Yeah, basically it's prep, like we're going to start day 1 and we're going to call it focus week now every 5 weeks. And we just I'm going to revamp the focus week posts. They're going to revamp a checklist that we give our challengers. So when they sign up, they get things prepped before they get into focus week. And that way if they add them 2 weeks later, they can be ready to go when you add them in the group. And then focus week will be saved as a unit so that if people get added, they can do it.
Right. Okay.
So, all right, you guys, I got to still work out. And I ate all that cauliflower gnocchi.
Do you have to do shoulders today?
Is that Thursdays?
Yes.
Is that this one?
Yes. And there's a new move and it's really hard. I was dying.
I didn't use weights for part of it.
Oh, really? I did the last time we went through it. I dropped mine because I was like,
I was so sore Tuesday morning when I woke up because I was like, he kept saying like, if you're not tired, and I'm like, fine. So I upped my weight.
I thought I was sick yesterday with how sore I was because I was like,
my
my whole body's sore. Does that mean I'm sick? And Peter was like, no.
But I did.
Girl needs
I was joking around with Courtney and I was like, so what do you think? And then he's like, you actually have a bicep for like the first time ever.
Yes.
And I have more of a tricep the first time ever. He's like, you're getting muscle. I'm like, yes. And I was actually going to go live about this in the group and I'll let us hop off. We'll do a quick prayer. But I've gained weight, obviously, because I'm sore. And so I want to tell people on your really sore days, expect the scale to go up because you're retaining water. Because my clothes fit fine. And it didn't bother me this time, but I know it bugs people when they, but he's like, soreness is like, you're going to retain water on the days you're sore because your muscles need whatever. And I can't drink it. So, well, let's pray real quick. Y'all mind? Like anyone's going to be like, yes, I mind.
I'm out of here.
Lord, thank you so much for this time. I'm so thankful, God, for this like new springtime. I know we're going into fall, Lord, but I feel like you've really made things new. And our team right now and the growth with our challenge groups and the direction things are going in, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the leaders who are stepping up into these positions to help take charge and to help us be able to reach more people and to serve the people you've given us to serve them well. I just pray, God, for everyone at the beginning of August to have peace about this month, to trust in you with our goals. I pray for the challengers and coaches that will be joining us this month, Lord, that you would open our eyes to see and our ears to listen to their stories and then give us the words to speak truth to them and to help them and to connect them to the right tools to help them in their journey. I pray for all of the moms with new babies. I pray for all the moms who are pregnant. I pray for just the families on our team, for all of the intentions that were posted in our prayer intention for this week. Lord, we lift all of those up to you. And I just thank you, God, for just the way you're moving. And I ask that you continue to move. And I just surrender all of this to you, Lord, as we offer all this in your most holy name. Amen. All right, guys. Enjoy your, what is today? Thursday. Are y'all going to the movie? I don't even know what day it is. Not going to the movie? Oh.
It's really far for everyone to get there from.
There's an encore performance showing the 13th.
So what exactly is it? Is it like her? Nobody knows. Okay.
I think it's like a documentary type event.
Okay.
I'm guessing she does vlogs, and I'm guessing it's like a bunch. I think it's probably a lot of this, but spinning into like this her as a motivation speaker. So yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. But all right. Well, I think next week, for those that go, we'll talk about them in the team call.
Cool.
And if any of you have anything you want to lead on a call, let me know in the upcoming weeks, and I can get it scheduled in because we're open. I know Peter's going to do a call.
Yeah, when was that again?
I don't know. It's on my calendar. And I have Amy Plavick is going to come to a call, I think, on how she power hours.
Hey.
She's like the rock star with the note cards, but she also is really good with like not working all day long and building.
Oh, that's awesome.
Slow and steady, strong. You know what I mean? Like not even
That's
slow.
good because I feel like either I work for an hour and then I like abandon all things.
Yeah.
Or I work all day.
Well, and what we're doing right now is going to help because when you're only in charge of like I can tell you guys that my number one reason my wheels were spinning all the time is my hand was in too many cookie jars. So if we can do this, our next step is to kind of systematize Clean Week a little more. But I don't want to worry about that till this is done. So, all right, you guys, have a good afternoon.
You too. Bye.